If you can't go left, you can always try right. If you can't go right, you can always try forward. But no matter what you do, we'll always create a memory because you are special.
Hi, how are you, Shannon?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Sorry about the hiccup. I'm
That's
still
okay.
getting used to Riverside. So I'm Dr. Rashida. You could just call me Rashida, but I'm going to do the introduction and everything to start the recording. It's
Okay.
recording already, but all right. So, and my dogs are barking. They have been quiet all morning. Now they want to bark.
I know. That's how mine get.
Yes. So, hello. Welcome back to RBV, the Milestone Whisperers. I'm your host, Dr. Rashida. And here we discuss milestones and the journeys to get to them. And today I have a really special guest, Shannon McDonald, a nurse practitioner who targets audience like me because I'm a middle-aged woman, mom, career woman, and I really liked your website and everything, Shannon. So welcome, and I can't wait to dive into our conversation.
Excellent. It's nice to be here.
All right, good. So I have a couple questions for you. So for people that's meeting you for the first time, what does the strong over skinny concept mean to you?
That's such a loaded question because there's so
Mm-hmm.
much to it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's so many layers to that, but I feel like women like in their 40s, 50s, I feel like when we were younger, we were always taught to be less, you were a better human if you were smaller,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody wanted to be skinnier. And I had a coaching call this morning with a client, and I don't know where that narrative came from, but now in this stage of life, we need to be stronger so we can help our children, so we can help our parents, so we can do all the things that we're called to do and not just worry about a number on a scale or being a size 0 or whatever other thing the world tries to tell us you need to be.
Yes, it's so great hearing that because I'm a physical therapist and I typically work with infants and toddlers. So I'm like working with like the little ones, but like it's a lot of grandparents that's still active in their lives. So sometimes I work with the grandparents and I'm trying to get the children to be mobile, but I'm also kind of like helping the grandparents like keep up with their grandchildren. So it's so important what you're doing. So tell me a little bit about your coaching business and how you incorporate like your nursing background with your coaching.
Okay, so I've been in healthcare for probably almost 30 years.
Uh,
I started as a CNA and then became an RN and
mm-hmm,
then just kept going with that. And I've been a nurse practitioner for about the last 6 years.
mm-hmm,
Um, and then what I found like when I was practicing in clinic is that people would come, we would tell them all the right things to do, but then they don't come back for 3 or 6 months. So that
mm-hmm.
15-minute conversation there's no support to it. There's no background to it. So I started doing this coaching business, which I really enjoy. And it's just taking that information that we have as nursing and as nurses, as people who have been in healthcare for a very long time, and be able to teach patients how to implement these things on a daily basis. A lot of times sometimes it's weekly check-ins, coaching calls with clients. Sometimes it's bi-weekly. Sometimes we go to monthly. It's all based on what they need, where they are in the process, and it's just really hard to get people successful when you see them for 15 minutes, 3 to 4 times a year, if you're lucky.
Right, right. That's the tough thing too, is like having those returning patients that's like they don't have that maintenance in between and it's like things fall off, life happens. Um Me being a PT, I see that as well with clients that I've had, and then like I discharge and they're like, "Oh, we need you back," because they're not doing this. And it's hard to figure out how to help people not get down on themselves when they do fall off, but to also understand that there's still resources out there where you can get a tune-up because we do need a tune-up sometime. Yeah.
Yes, and there's so much information out there,
Mhm.
like with social media, and there's a lot of good information out there, but there's a lot of bad information out there. And
Yeah.
it's, I think, really hard for people to be able to understand what is good, what is bad. And sometimes information is not inherently bad, but it's the interpretation or the way they're choosing to use it where everything is so extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, like, the excess is just
Yeah.
crazy, and the algorithm is just like, sometimes I'm like, "Why am I seeing this stuff?" Like, like, it's just weird things that fall and I try not to be on social media too much, but since I am, doing a podcast and
Right.
I have to go on there and see, like, what people like and how I could fit in, but sometimes it's just so just toxic to see the
And
extreme things that people post.
yes, and I think it's good. Like, I think if we are sharing information, I think it's good for us to go on social media occasionally just so we see what's out there because
Mhm.
people will tell me things, my patients in the clinic or my coaching clients, and I'm like, I haven't heard that. And then I go look for it and I'm like, oh. So
Mhm.
I think to even know what people are hearing and who they're hearing it from,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people who don't have I feel like it's people who have got themselves in shape, which is great. And I
Mhm.
think that's fabulous, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're qualified to give health advice
Mhm.
to the general public, but that's where people tend to go, and that's what sells.
Yeah. And I love that you say that about the being qualified because there's a lot of people that say that they're coaches and they don't have any, experience with the clinical part or just the interactive part with people. During the times of COVID, a lot of people just self-taught how to get fit, and things like that. And I'm not going to say that's not valuable because it takes a lot of time and effort to get that discipline. But I love that you bring so many years of nursing experience because that medical part, like understanding some things could be contraindicated for some people. Like for instance, um, you work with middle-aged women, right?
Yes.
So I've learned, even though I'm a PT, I've learned that I have to work out differently as a woman in my 40s than I did when I was in my 20s, pre-kids,
Right.
So, how do you educate your clients and your the people that you serve on how to modify what they were taught? Like not just the skinny part, but just like, how
Yes.
cardio or I know that you do like heavily protein things too, like protein-based things. So, tell me a little bit about like your approach.
So you're right with how we exercise, like, is different because I feel like, when you're 20 years old, you can eat Taco Bell and Lucky
Mhm.
Charms and have
Mhm.
17% body fat because that's the beauty of youth.
Yes.
But when you get older, it's the cardio, it's looking at it differently than for weight loss. It needs to be for health. So, like, walking is so great. And some of the like running or like the more intense cardio in short bursts, that's great because that's really good for
Mhm.
your heart and lung capacity. So
Mhm.
we want to do that, but it's changing the mindset that, okay, you want to lose weight, you have to do 2 hours of cardio on a stair climber every day. So
Yeah.
it's just for most people, it's just getting some steps in every day.
Mhm.
Because what I'm trying to teach them is it's consistency. It's not being motivated
Yeah.
on Monday and doing an hour walk, and then the rest of the week you do nothing.
Mhm.
It's little bite-sized pieces of exercise. Like if you can get a 10-15 minute walk after lunch, that's where you go. If you can
Mhm.
get 10 minutes later, that's what you need to do.
Mhm.
And like you said, with changing how you work out, with the strength training, it's really hard because I feel like I used to think that I had to do all this running and
Mhm.
like circuit training, you know, where you just,
Yeah.
because it was, the concern was was burning. Like we wanted to burn all these calories. And now it's like a totally different mindset. It's like, okay, if I want to build muscle so I can do all the things I want to do, and it's so hard because to build muscle, you have to do the workout
Mm-hmm.
and you have to eat food
Yes.
to
That's so
build muscle.
important. That's so important.
Yeah. And then for the strength training, it's being able to modify. Like, okay, you can't do a barbell back squat. That's fine. Can you do a goblet squat? Can you do a box squat?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get up and down off a chair without using your hands?
Right.
You know, it's being able
Mhm.
to take an exercise and bring it all the way back and then figure out where people are, and then you can build, because the idea is not to be in pain. You don't have to be sweating consistently. I mean, you do have to put forth effort,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, you don't have to be in a gym 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard thing for people to wrap their mind around, is if you'd even do it once a week or 10,
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes a day, and then you can build on that. And then teaching people to
Mm-hmm.
find something that they do that they enjoy. Because if you
Yeah.
hate it, you're not going to keep doing
There's
it.
no buy-in.
Yeah.
There's no buy-in. Like I hate the treadmill. I hate the treadmill. But I've been getting into walking with my mom and my daughter, and we just have a conversation and just walk, and it goes by a lot faster than just aimlessly walking on the treadmill, you know?
Yeah. And that
Mhm.
community aspect, I think,
Mhm.
especially like after, like during COVID, I think we lost that.
Right. Big
And
time.
yeah. And so
Mhm.
teaching people, just to get in groups and go do stuff,
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
so, like you said, with your patients who have grandparents, you want people when they're 70 years old to be able to like walk up and down bleachers and
Yeah.
get down, up and down off the ground if they need to.
Mhm.
That's the
Mhm.
purpose.
Yes, yes, because we're teaching the youth to be active. So like in schools, they're pushing like extracurricular activities and sports and being outside, really trying to get the kids off the screens and be active. But, when they have these games and things, some of the grandparents, they really do struggle with the bleachers or just being there all day. My sons play football, so it's like when they have tournaments, it's literally all day long, and it's like you would want their grandparents to come or their, great aunts to come, but they can't tolerate that all day. So like trying to meet them where they are and try to build up that and get in those little games is so important.
Yes, I love what you said. You have to meet people where they are.
Mhm.
And I think if more people understood that, like, we don't expect you to go from like being completely sedentary to running a marathon in 3
Yeah.
months. You know, that's not the goal. The goal is just that consistent movement every day
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
building on that.
Mhm. Yeah. So I know that you're working with like middle-aged women.
Hmm.
Do you incorporate like their children or their parents too? So like the other side of the coin to kind of bridge them together or like teach them ways to help that so that way it's like
Generational.
generational. Yeah.
The interesting thing that I found with the people I work with, especially the moms tend to make the meals, do the grocery shopping,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Um, is that once the moms start making changes, sometimes it just by nature kind of filters down where the kids are like, okay, well, what are you doing? Maybe I'm going to come to the gym with you. Um,
Mhm.
maybe, we're going to make a healthier choice for food and just have that available in the house.
Mhm.
And I think when the moms are active, like taking a walk after meals or just little things like that, or getting up in the morning, I think the kids especially see that.
Yeah.
Like my husband and I have always been very active, and it's so interesting. So like for our kids to like go to the Y or, go work out or go lift weights, to them, that's just like a normal part of your day.
Mhm.
Like if you have a day off, like why wouldn't you go do something?
Yeah.
Just and it's changing that narrative. So like if we change ourselves, hopefully the good that we do, filters to parents. Like I have one client who's is with her mom a lot. And so her
Mhm.
mom has started, okay, well, should I eat this? Should I not eat this? Like what should
Yeah.
I do? So
Mhm.
hopefully if we can, keep empowering anybody, it filters through
Yeah.
those other people.
Yeah. I love that you say that too because the kids do watch. You think that they aren't, and I'm noticing like as my mom ages and my mother-in-law gets older, they are watching too and becoming more conscious of what they're consuming or what activities they're doing. It's interesting because my mom, she's 65. She'll be 66 this year. And her and my sister shared a dog. So the dog was usually with my mom, but it's technically my sister's. And the dog has been with my sister for like a couple months. So my mom called me this morning to tell me that despite not having a dog to take a walk, it's a beautiful day and she's out taking a walk. And I was like, ah, she said that she's taking a walk without me and my daughter today. But yeah, and it was like, okay, mom, I'm so glad that she like checked in and told me that because I'm like,
Mhm.
you're staying active despite me not being there to like coach you on and not having a
Yeah.
dog that needs to be walked. So I love how you say that it does trickle down to
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And the kids watch and
Mm-hmm.
they learn. And it was so funny because one day I think I made like these protein balls for the kids for
Mm-hmm.
sport. They take them with them to school and,
Mm-hmm.
they share them with the other kids. And at first, I think because if it's kind of a different taste texture than you're used to, like if you're used
Mm-hmm.
to really highly processed food.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so interesting because when our kids were little, it didn't even dawn on them that it tasted different because that's what they
Mm-hmm.
were used to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Yeah.
if we can put good habits in place in our house, in our area we can control,
Mhm.
hopefully that will stick with them as they leave.
Yes, yes. Especially, like, when they do venture out and, go to parties or go to little camps and things like that, and the influence of other kids that may not have had that example. Hopefully, that
Mhm.
stays true to them, like, "You don't
Yes.
need all that junk food," and, like, "These protein balls taste pretty good," or, "I have a
Yeah.
smoothie bowl with my kids are starting to get fancy with making their what are they called? Acai bowls and
Oh,
things.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so they're starting to get a little bit fancy with that now because 'cause they're especially my boys that wanna bulk up a little bit because they
Sure.
do play football, so I'm like, "Okay, y'all listening a little bit. That's good."
Yeah. It was so funny because my daughter, yeah, she had her yogurt at her track meet, and then she's adding
Mhm.
honey and granola and bananas,
Mhm.
making this whole thing, and I'm like, "That's good."
Yes, and it actually tastes good too, and you feel so
Yes.
much better after you eat something like that versus a burger or something. I'm not
Yeah,
down on burgers, but yeah.
and it's just changing that narrative that I hear from some people that, "Well, I'm not gonna give up the foods I love. Like, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna eat." It's like they feel like they have to eat dry chicken breast and broccoli, and that's
Right.
to be healthy, and they're like, "Well, I'm just gonna go drink my Mountain Dew and eat my candy," and, just that doesn't make
Yeah,
you feel good.
it doesn't.
You get a little dopamine hit,
Mhm.
absolutely, from sugar
Mhm. Mhm.
and caffeine, but that's not gonna make you feel better, but it's, like, just changing that narrative, like, it doesn't mean you have to go all or nothing. It
Yeah.
means kinda adding in the good things, and then the idea is they crowd out some of the bad things, because
Mhm.
if you're full with your protein and your fiber and your water and your healthy fats, you just don't have room to eat all this other junk.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
so true.
yeah.
Then you're like, "Oh, I don't need that. I don't need those chips."
Yes, and then just if they
Mhm.
do it long enough where they start to realize that, "Oh, I do feel better when I eat this way."
Mhm.
That's so, so key, but getting them, and that's why I like the coaching, because you have more
Mhm.
hands-on. And like with some of them, for a while, if they're going through something, it might be every day I'm getting texts, and that's fine. That's what I'm there to do.
Yeah. Mhm.
But just to keep them going, and then once it it clicks that, oh, I do feel better,
Yeah.
then we can kind of back off and give them a little more autonomy.
Yeah. I like that. So that because that's empowering to them too. It's like, okay, I made a good choice, and like it's
Yes.
paying off, and they want to
Yeah.
do it more. It's kind of like with like even like little kids, like the little babies that I work with, like giving that positive reinforcement, it encourages more um positive behaviors, So it
Yes.
works with adults too. It takes a little bit
Yes,
longer, but it does work with
it
adults.
does.
Let's see. Um, so let's talk about like what got you into this mindset of the strength over skinny, and was it something in your life specifically that made you change like how you coached and how you treated your clients, or was it something that happened gradually over time?
Um, so like I grew up in the 90s, so I
Mhm.
was of that mindset that you just have to keep eating less and doing more, and then you can lose weight.
Mhm.
So like after going through 4 pregnancies, that was just kind of my go-to. Like I'd run all the time. I'd done marathons and half marathons, and that's how I could lose that extra 10, 15 pounds.
Mhm.
And then I got to the point where it was getting harder and harder. And then I was out riding my horse one day, and he spooked. I came off, broke my ankle.
Wow.
So then it was like, I mean, and that takes a lot of rehab when you're over 40.
Mhm. Yes.
But it's like I couldn't just go run anymore.
Mhm.
Like, not for miles and miles. It just wasn't an option. And so it was like, okay, I need to do something different. Um, and my husband has always lifted weights like all the time.
Mhm.
And I would, but like I said, I would do circuit training. So it's like, okay, do 10 squats and 15 jumping jacks and 20 push-ups and just over and over.
Mhm. Mhm.
So it was like, okay, I'm going to start lifting weights to get stronger. And then I realized this is so much easier than what I was doing for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then, and I felt better,
Mhm.
and I didn't have pain. And I was like, it was just so much better. And
Yeah.
so then I like dived into that more. Like I've been a personal trainer in the past. I let that lapse just because time was an
Mhm.
issue. Um, but it was like, I need to take this and share it with people. And the nutrition thing too. And the nutrition was because like with my clients, everyone seems so confused with what to eat. Or they're
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go do keto or carnivore, or I'm gonna do this. And those diets aren't necessarily bad,
Mhm.
but they were developed for a medical purpose.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't think, what people understand. So it's like I have all this information and I want to do something to help clarify it for people. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm got super busy in life there for a little bit. So I'm getting back onto social media, and it's kind of cringy because there's a lot out there. But
Oh,
it's like, if
yes.
I can help just one person, if I can help clarify something for somebody, like that's my
Mhm.
goal. Like, and to get women to understand, like, we don't have to keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Or,
Yeah.
like we can be strong, we can be healthy, we can have control of our stress. I mean, sometimes you can't. Life is life. But
Yeah.
we don't have to be so overwhelmed all the time. And the answer is not just to take Ozempic every day,
Yeah.
and get super skinny and
Mhm.
not do anything. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that too because some people do have that concept of if I just get the weight off, like I'll have so much more energy. And I like that you talk about energy. I've read a couple of your blogs and everything, but how that doesn't necessarily correlate with more energy. And I definitely live by that because even after having kids, I was I was always like 95 pounds, and I'm like 5'1"-ish. So I've always been petite and
Uh-huh.
slender. But as I started getting older, I'm like, I'm tired, and it's not a weight thing. It's more so my nutrition, my rest, and just my
Yes.
activity level too. Because even though I'm working with the infants and the toddlers, I'm on the floor a lot. So it's like I'm not necessarily getting in a lot of steps during the day. So I had to change that mindset too. Like after work, I have to be a little bit more active, to
Mhm.
get my energy level up. And the wake up call for me was I couldn't get through Zumba. And it's like I used to jam in Zumba, I used to be able to do the whole thing and another song, the hour over, and I'm like, one more. And I would literally be in there huffing and puffing, like, what's going on with my body? So what I did, I had to get blood work and everything, and I was chronically anemic, which I knew even before I had kids, but I had to make some modifications that seemed to be an easy fix when I was younger. It took a long time to get my energy back. Being in my mid-40s with three busy kids that keeps me going. So it definitely has been like a shift for me too. But those small gains has been so fulfilling.
Yes. And I love what you
Mhm.
said about like when you're tired after
Mhm.
work and you knew that's when you had to go do things.
Mhm.
And that's what I tell people. It's like once you get up, even if it's a 5-minute walk, usually you'll feel better and you'll keep doing more.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because some people are more petite, some people are bigger bones, some people are tall, some are, we're all different. God made us all
Mhm.
for a reason. We all have a different purpose.
Mhm. Mhm.
And just getting people to understand that you do the best you. Like
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you have energy and you can feel good and you can chase your kids and sit on the
Yes.
bleachers all day. And
Yes. Because they definitely
yeah.
keep us going.
Yes, I can absolutely relate. Like
Mhm.
we were talking about the amount of years we have set through wrestling meets and track meets and we're like, okay, well, we have one of the four will just be a freshman this year in high school. So
Mhm.
many years, 4 more years of that. But I'm like, gosh, what am I going to do when that's done? I'm going to have to start chasing the nieces and nephews to all their events just so I have something to go watch, I guess.
Yes, yes. Like, so what you're doing? Do they have a
Yes.
track meet or do they have like cheer or something?
Yes.
Yes, as it starts to dwindle down.
Yeah. But that's the whole goal is so we just feel better.
Mhm.
Like that's my goal with my patients and in the clinic, my clients and my practice is I want people to feel good so they can do everything they want to do. So they're not limited by just things that they don't need to be limited by, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Do you get some people that develop like a phobia of like socializing, getting out after the COVID age? I have family members that's like that where they just don't want to go out anymore. They're, baby boomers, so a lot of them aren't even working age. Well, some of them do still have to work, but not as extensively as a younger person does. But it's I'm finding it hard to convince some people that just got into that COVID isolation phase to actually reintegrate. And we've been past the pandemic for a while now, but it's still just hard to get some people to want to get out. So do you mainly do in-person type of coaching or do you do virtual coaching?
I do a lot of virtual coaching.
Mhm.
I mean, I do a little bit of um in person, but
Mhm.
probably a lot more virtual. But I think it's COVID and it's our society like where everything is like I can see both ways. Everything is so automated and like I mean, sometimes yes, I'm ordering groceries and having them brought to my house cuz quite frankly, I don't have time.
Mhm.
It'll be a busy weekend. We have games. We have to eat. There's no way I will have 2 hours.
Yeah.
I have to drive to the store a ways away, but, when you do take the time to go into the store and interact with people and talk to people, I think that's just
Mhm.
so good for us. But I think just in this day and age where everything is like virtual and automated, it kind of
Yeah.
people to isolate, which is really sad.
Yeah, it's sad and it can be a bit lonely,
Oh, yeah.
especially like for those empty nesters, that they don't have their children there anymore and their grandchildren don't live with them. So it's like you need some type of social interaction. We're not supposed to be isolated. But I'm the
Yeah.
Instacart queen for sure. I get Instacart. Like some of the shoppers know who I am. They know my replacements and everything. They don't even have to to ask me.
Yeah, and part of it, I
Mhm.
mean, like when you're working and you have kids and you're doing all these things, I mean, you have to do what you have to do to survive life. But
Yeah.
like when people are in those, different time frames of life, I think it's so much better if they can just go talk to people and go do things and
Hmm.
like go to an exercise class, go walking, go for coffee. But
Yeah. It's tough. It's definitely
yeah,
tough. My mom and my daughter and I did a 5K like about a month ago. But they had an option to walk. So that's what we did. We did not run. But I love that they had their option to walk because originally when I asked my mom about the 5K and she was like, I can't run. I said, Mom, it's a walking option. So we're gonna walk. My daughter is 10 and she ran. She just ran ahead of us. She was with the walking group, but she ran ahead of us and she finished a good like 8 minutes before us. But it was just nice to have that option. So I try to like empower my family by saying you don't have to do the most, as the kids say. You could do what you can, sit in
yes.
a chair and exercise. You don't have to get on the floor, get up and down and things like that. You could modify what you have to do to still get moving, and it does make you feel better.
Yes, and that's what I tell people all the time, my clients. It's like
Hmm.
if you just sit in a chair, if that's where you are and you can do 15 minutes of moving in a chair, then that's where you start.
Yes. That's a good starting point, and you build from there. All right, let's see. This is such a great conversation. I then went off script, so I had questions, but like we are having a good conversation. I don't even feel like the questions are like necessary, really. Let's see though. So I like this question though. For someone listening today who feels burnt out, overwhelmed, or disconnected from themselves physically, what's one small step that they can take this week to start rebuilding strength, mentally or physically?
So I'm gonna focus on mentally because I
Mm-hmm.
think it's gonna get you more bang for your buck,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. But I think it's to take some time and just like go outside and walk for like
Mm-hmm.
10 or 15 minutes without headphones in, without listening
Yes.
to anything, without listening to
Mm-hmm.
the noise, and just get out there and practice what you're grateful for. Just
Mm-hmm.
think of as you're walking, because I think we get so caught up in comparison with social media, and all the things we think we don't have time for, we don't have money for, all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just to get out there for 15 minutes and just walk. And you don't have to like power walk, just stroll and
Mm-hmm.
think of all the good things you have and be thankful for those. Like, and I think that is so, so helpful. I mean, the other stuff is
Mm-hmm.
important too, but like when it's those days where you're feeling so overwhelmed and your world's feeling like it's crashing down, just get away from it all.
Yes. I love that. I love that. Just take that time to exhale, and
Mhm.
nature is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even matter like where you live. So we're in the suburbs, but we're really close to the city, so it's not like super quiet all the time. But where I work in Philadelphia, so it's the city.
Okay.
And so like sometimes with the kids that I do work with that's walking, the toddlers, I'll say, let's get out the house. We're not going to be inside the house for our session. We're going to go for a walk. And there'll be cars going by. It'll be school buses. It'll be dogs. And I just tell the parents, I'll coach them, say, let's point out the things in the environment.
Yes.
And it's so important to do that.
Yes. I love that. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah.
tell me and tell the viewers how they can find you. I know you have a website and you have social media. So can you please share like how everyone can find you, look you up, and maybe take advantage of some of your services that you have?
Yeah. So I have a website. It's called navigatingtowellness.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook, the same thing, navigating to wellness. And then on Instagram, I believe it's navigating_to_wellness is the address. But yeah, and I am happy if people have general questions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to answer those, or if you have something you want to know about, I can make some posts about that. If you want to work with me, we do I kind of do like a 15-minute consult that's
Mm-hmm.
free because I want to make sure it's a good match for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in a space where it's just too busy to dedicate much time, let's figure that out first and then work from there. Because I want to make sure it's a good match. If it's an investment, but it needs to be beneficial to the people. I mean, but yeah, I have a
Yeah.
lot of people that are like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? So I like to make
Mm-hmm.
posts about that because I'm like, if you have the question, other people do as well.
Yes, and if it touches one person, that's doing a lot, because they could
Yes.
share it with others, and like you said, it could relate. Other people could relate to it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be tagging you when we post the podcast. It goes up on YouTube. So it will likely go up like sometime this week.
Okay.
But I'll follow you on Instagram so that way we could tag you when we do. But just your website in general is nice because it has like a lot of blog posts. So I was reading some of those. So it's a lot of information on there. So I hope people do reach out to you.
Yeah, I had one. I don't think I have it on my website. It went on Elephant Journal. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's kind of like a
No.
blogging site,
Mm-hmm.
like Tiny
Yeah.
Buddha, but
Mm-hmm.
it's about getting my first pull up at age 49. So that one was fun to write. I did
Oh,
that. So
yes.
yeah, I'll have to make sure that
Wow.
gets posted.
Yes. You said Elephant Journal?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look
Yeah.
for it. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes. So thank you so much I don't know how long we've been on, but
that's all right.
thanks thanks so much for taking a Saturday to talk to me.
Yeah. And it was so nice
Yeah.
to meet you. And I love
Nice
what
to
you
meet you
do.
too. Thank you so much. And I love what you do too. So I'll be in touch. And I hope I can send some people your way to utilize all your knowledge that you have to share.
All right. You have a great day.
You too. Bye,
All right.
Shannon.
Bye.
Bye.